second board is shown. Revs starting to rise ahead of this 20-minute race, which gets underway now. Good start from Kurt, not such a good start from Graham Crowhurst on pole position, so we'll see if he can hold on to the advantage as they head down towards Clervaux Corner for the first time. Well, it's a red car out in front on its own, so that makes it Mike Crowhurst there in second. It looks like Paul Cook there, and the Cookie Monster car is there in third, and Lee Piercy fourth as they turn their way through Hawthorne for the first time. There's the 16 car going through short of Andy Wynn, his 330 CI, but it's Mike Cutt then, the local driver, who's immediately gone out front, but Graham Crowhurst trying to go with him as they head down towards Tower Corner for the first time.
Yep, everybody through the first few corners safely. There's Lee Piercy leading Class 6 from Jim Benson. Adam Reed has got third in the early stages of this 20-minute race, slightly longer than some of the previous races. Oh, there he's sideways there. I was going to say, not sure how the track conditions are now after that brief shower. But one driver there getting very sideways was number 23, I think, which is Thomas Singleton in the 3-2-8i, right on terms with the 1 Series of Stuart Pywell as they turn their way onto Sunny amongst this big Class 6 field for the 6-cylinder cars. Number 16 there on the outside, that's Andy Wynn in the 330. And they all come towards the end of the first lap.
They do indeed. Crowhurst just seems to have a bit more straight line speed, or certainly acceleration out of the slow corners, and he sets off in pursuit of Mike Cook, but he's not really catching him as they head down to Clervaux. So I think they've probably got a similar pace, but it transmitted in slightly different ways.
At this point, Paul Cook is able to go with them, isn't he?
He is, yeah. We'll see if that stays the case. He seems to lose out a little bit, actually, down the straights, if anything. But possibly gets it back in the corners. Lee Piercy's leading in Class 6 at the moment, but here are the outright leaders, and on that shot they do look like all three of them are right together, but there is a bit of a gap between Crowhurst in second and Cook in third. But Kurt it is that continues to lead. Left and right they turn through the Jim Clark S's now towards the right-hander at Barcroft. They just collect the curve there and head into the double right-hander even at Sunny. No changes in the order there. So different race this time with a battle from the outset at the front of the order. It wasn't the case last time because Cutt and Cook had to come through from the back of the grid, and Crowhurst had it a bit more his own way earlier on this afternoon.
Yeah, it's very close now, isn't it, between Cutt and Crowhurst. And they turn their way then to the end of the first lap. Mike Cutt didn't have a great season last year, did he, in the BMW Car Club, after being very successful previously. So trying to add a win to his tally here today at Croft. But on that first flying lap, Crowhurst was a tenth of a second quicker, and Paul Cook was half a second slow in the top two. Adam Reed, they're trying to hang on to third in Class 6 with Stephen Schleikart's similar liveried car on the outside, getting better drive off of the hairpin and moving ahead of the compact. That might be the limited slip diff that Adam Reed hasn't got in his car. That just doesn't help him off the slow hairpin there, and it's lost him a couple of places. Lead
changes. They're at Tower Corner. Out of the window we can see the two leaders are side by side. On the outside line is Graham Crowhurst. He briefly got his nose ahead. He's got a big twitch on there as he was over the curb on the exit of the corner through the Jim Clark S's. It's Cut that just about holds on. Wow, that was an exciting moment or two there for the lead of the race. Paul Cook just keeping a safe distance, really, between, and seeing if anything's going to come to blows between these two and end in tears. But for the moment, all good. Mike Cook continuing to lead from Graham Crowhurst in second place, but it's an exciting old race.
Yeah, now Paul Cook is with them, isn't he? He was just a touch behind earlier. So the E36 lead, loads of curb there used by Graham Crowhurst. Now in the previous lap you reckoned he was good off the hairpin, so let's see if he can do the same here. He took a wider line, which may help, but up the gears, Mike Cutt's able to deal with that and stays in front. And they blast off down towards Clervaux onto the fourth lap of this race, and Mike Cutt is in front. So it was Tower Bend last time that Crowhurst had a go. They bounced there over the curb through Clervaux and then through the chicane. They're almost side by side here as they come into the chicane. Crowhurst had to cut the corner there to avoid contact. it's not really a place to overtake, and therefore going to back out of it, and Mike Hutt is therefore able to stay ahead as they head down towards Tower Bend on this particular lap. But Graham Crowhurst at this point, Ian, does look a little quicker.
Yeah, indeed, these three in the M1 class for M-Series engine cars. The majority of the cars on the grid these days, though, are in Class 6, which have the 6-cylinder, 3-litre engine in them. And that's where Lee Pearcey is leading them. He's got a 3-second lead over Jim Benson already within Class 6, it would seem.
Great shot there of the Cookie Monster, great livery on the side of Paul Cook's car. And on the previous lap, Cook was quicker than the top two, but that was mainly because they were squabbling, I think, over that leading position. Fastest lap so far, 127.8 from Crowhurst, which is a bit slower than the earlier race. And it's cut again, take that tighter line into the hairpin, and then sideways off the hairpin. That probably wasn't ideal for Graham Crowhurst, as they now complete 4 laps, and in the next couple of laps they're going to be into lap traffic, such as the speed of these M-powered BMWs. And great shot there as they bounce over the curb, all 3 of them, Cut, Crowhurst and Cook. And then they go through the chicane then, using lots of curb through there, and then out of the chicane, onto the straight, towards Tower Bend once more. They're 20 seconds ahead of Lee Pearcey, who leads Class 6. He's there in 4th position overall, ahead of Jim Benson. Some of the battles a bit further back here.
Yeah, going over the line there, Stuart Pywell involved in that scrap. You could see also Stephen Schreikart and Mark Coleman, so that's 6th, 7th and 8th on the road that we can see in shot there. Head through Clervaux and Hawthorne, a bit further back behind the Madden Reed and Thomas Singleton. That's the battle. You could just see Reed going through shot there at Hawthorne. But at the moment it's Kulmer at the head of this group. He's in the only M1 class car, so the M-Series engine car amongst these 3. So he's probably got a bit more power. That will help him down the straight. But it seems that Schreikart and Pymar were able to stay with him all the way down the straight through Tower that time. See if they can do anything about him. Pywell and is 4th in class at the moment, behind Schreikart, who's 3rd in class, but they're both a long way behind the class leaders, Lee Pearcey and Jim Benson.
That's right, and Pearcey himself is 3.8 seconds ahead of Jim Benson, and he's going quicker than he went in the earlier race, Pearcey, so new lap record, 1 minute 33.3. And then this battle for 3rd in class turns its way onto the complex, with Stephen Schreikart's E46 compact ahead of Stuart Pywell's 125i, and they turn their way to the end of their 5th lap.
Yes, they do indeed. So we have just under 12 minutes of the race left to go. That's the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th, heading down towards Clervaux Corner once more. Adam Reed chasing after them. We're going to get a change here. Pywell goes up to 4th place, or 3rd place within that class now, Class 6. He's ahead of Schreikart in the Sycamore entered car, liveried car. Stephen Schreikart down to 4th place in the class and to 8th place overall at the start of this lap. Got quite a gap ahead of them. Oh, there's one coming into the pits. It's Colin Whitmore into the pits, I'm afraid to say. Car 35. He was running in 17th position, a bit further back than we might have expected to see him. So problems today in this second race, at least for Colin Whitmore.
Okay, that's a shame to see. Good he got out there, because as you were saying earlier, there was a point where it looked like he might not have been able to complete in the races today. But there's Schreikart then in his compact 6-cylinder car up through Sunny. Half a lap or so behind the overall leaders, which is still Mike Cutt from Graham Crowhurst, but the pair of them are pulled away now from Paul Cook. And they've worked their way through the Cup class back markers, where Gareth Thomas leads by just 0.3 of a second from Lee Spencer. So perhaps we'll catch up on the Cup class a bit later on in this race. There is the leader though, there is Mike Cutt, and Graham Crowhurst is not too far behind in the E46. But yeah, that gap's a bit bigger since we last saw them anyway.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? Beautiful looking car that though by Grim Croft. New build, as we said, for this season's racing. Car that he previously raced in Class M2, having been destroyed sadly in a fire. So there is Cut in the lead of the race. Good turnaround from him after starting the first race earlier on this afternoon from the back of the grid.
They're probably going to lap everyone up to 6th, I reckon, here, aren't they? Such is their speed.
Yep, could well do. Could well do.
Already lapped 17th position, Sergei Manev's 6-cylinder car. We're only halfway through the race. A new fastest lap, Mike Cutt, 1 minute 27.20, which is 0.08 of a second quicker than race 1. And Jim Benson's off the road in his 6-cylinder 330. That's at Sunny. He's gone quite a long way off there because it took him a long time to get back on. He was 6.5 seconds behind Lee Piercy, but he was a long way ahead of everyone else, so I don't think he's lost a position. But that would have been quite the moment for Jim Benson. But yeah, new fastest lap and the fastest lap we've seen today by Mike Cutt, a 1 minute 27.20, a new lap record.
It's around about 87 miles an hour as well, isn't it? So that's pretty impressive. Some of the fastest racing we've got here this weekend at Croft with this 750 Motor Club race meeting. So Cut, Crowhurst and Cook, 44, 15 and 26 the top three, then 61 Lee Piercy. Is it still going to be 59 Jim Benson? I think it probably is in 5th, and 66 Mark Colmer in 6th, also in a Class M1 car. Still only 0.3 of a second or so between the two Cup class leaders, Thomas and Lee Spencer, making his race debut this weekend. So a good competitive battle amongst the Cup class cars as well.
Lots of traffic though for the leaders to deal with, and this is where it could really change up. We saw in previous races today, if you catch a back mark in the wrong place, you can lose a second or so in a moment, really. And here is Cut then, and he turns his way into Clairvaux. He's got a couple of cars in front. Bill Redrop was the first of those, so can Graham Crowhurst use this point to seize some time back, because the chicane isn't really a place where Mike Cutt can progress, but he did manage to put Redrop between himself and Crowhurst there, and that means it's pretty much even, pretty much as it was before. Mike Cutt, he's done lots of racing and done lots of racing where lap traffic is all part of it, and therefore his experience there allowing him really not to lose any time.
Absolutely right. 7.5 minutes to go. This BMW Car Club Racing Championship race. Mike Cutt, the leader, from Graham Crowhurst and Paul Cook. You can see the top two on screen there, heading through Barcroft. Once again, up towards Sunny.
I think the Cup class leader is about to head onto the back straight towards Tower, so we'll see if we can pick them up soon. 68 Gareth Thomas and 13 Lee Spencer. They're absolutely together in the Cup class, but for now we continue. Here they are, so now we can go grab a look at them. So Gareth Thomas and Lee Spencer, who's a novice driver. They're just being lapped by Lee Piercy, who slots in between them, and they're not far behind them actually is Sam Walton. So the three Cup class cars here, and are really equally paced. Yeah, absolutely. These BMW 325 Ti compact 2.5 litre engines in a very standard specification. It's a really accessible way to go BMW racing for the first time. It does attract newcomers to the sport. Gareth not with the novice cross. He's got a little bit of experience under his belt though in the BMW Cup. But behind him, Lee Spencer is a newcomer to the championship. First ever race was earlier on. The driver from Oxfordshire, 45 years of age, and he's giving a very good account of himself here this weekend, that's for sure. So they head up.
Oh, and Jim Benson's off again.
Same place, I think, through Sunny. So he's trying hard, but it's not really working out, is it?
It's not for him, and the danger there is he might have lost a position overall to Mark Coleman as well, and possibly he would only need to have lost about 6 seconds there to fall behind Stuart Pimer, which I guess is feasible. And yes, as they come towards the hairpin, there's only a couple of car lengths between them. No, in fact, no, Pywell's ahead, isn't he? Pywell is ahead now of Jim Benson. So Benson's down to 3rd place within Class 6.
And they're a long way behind Lee Piercy. That is for sure, the class leader. And now off is 67, Adrian Williams, and his new to him BMW Compact. That's also at Sunny, so maybe a few people having problems down there for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be disappointing for Jim Benson because he was hoping for sort of title assault this year after some reliability issues in the previous couple of seasons, but it's got off on the wrong foot here. 2 defeats to Lee Pearcey by the looks of it. And here's Graham Crowhurst, who's looking like he's going to have a defeat at the hands of Mike Cutt.
They're just lapping Adam Reed. We have 2 hours on the grass almost there, so that's lapping the driver in 9th position. And there's still 5 minutes to go, and there's still about a second between them, and they've pulled a long way clear of Paul Cook now. He's about 10 seconds back. So Stephen Schreikart, he's dropped a long way behind Stuart Pywell, hasn't he? Or more than Pywell's pulled away. He's going quickly, 1:34.9. So it might be difficult for Jim Benson to get that place back because Pywell's getting much quicker than what we've seen him go so far today. Meanwhile, the leaders, Graham Crowhurst right on the limit there through Croft, getting past Schreikart, who looks up himself. Again, a bit of an issue down there at Sunny for another driver, although Schreikart kept on the road.
He did indeed, and just looking, Jim Benson with, what's he got, 4 minutes to go. Can he catch Pywell? Well, Pywell possibly being sort of held up in places by Mark Hull, although comes in a more powerful car. So that could play into the hands of Jim Benson. And yes, he is catching Pywell a bit now, I'd suggest. But that group is going to be lapped by Mike Cutt and Graham Crowhurst. Probably on the next lap, I would think, the lap that they're just starting.
You know, before the end, they've probably got to lap the 3 Cup class leaders as well. So that's all going to get quite busy. Meanwhile, for 10th place, Thomas Singleton and Paul Laramie come up across the line. The E36 ahead of the E46 there. And they then turn up towards Clairvaux. Thomas Singleton slightly missed the apex, which made his turn a bit difficult, but he managed to get through okay in the end.
Did indeed. That's Alan Reid just going through a shot. Behind, you can see that's the 23 car going through. And behind him is 31. So that's Thomas Singleton and 31 being Paul Laramie there, who switched up to Class 6 for this season. They're having a good scrap, aren't they, as well? Those two for the final place inside the top 10. Pretty evenly matched, I must say.
The 3 Cup class leaders are all together now. They're about to cross the line shortly. So Sam Walton has caught both Gareth Thomas and Lee Spencer. And they're shortly going to be lapped by the Class 6 and the Class M1 front runners. Here they come across the line, all 3 Cup class. It might not be the biggest entry they've ever had, but it's the most competitive really, with the whole of the class all right together.
Check flag's gone out. Yeah, check flag's gone out a couple of minutes early. So the win then has gone to Mike Cutt by 1.32 seconds from number 15 Graham Crowhurst in second place, 26 Paul Cook third. About 10 seconds behind the leaders, 11 seconds behind the leaders. Lee Pearcey, he has gone across the line, hasn't he? I think?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
A little while.
No, he's going to be a little while. Yes, that he was.
Perhaps if we can catch up on that Cup class leaders, if possible, there at Tower, to see if Gareth Thomas can hang on, and they're all going quicker than before. They're actually going 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster than they did in race 1.
We just saw them go through the back of shot there, and you could see it was still the same order: Thomas, Spencer, and the final car whose name escapes me is Sam Walton. Yeah,
who's now only a few tenths of a second away from the lap record from Matt Page, who won the overall championship a few years ago.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. So the Cup class battle, because they just ahead of the leaders when the checkered flag came out, they basically had still a lap to go.
Lee Pearcey just comes through now to win Class 6 again. But it's that Cup class that could change, and wide through the complex here is Gareth Thomas. So that
we can see it on screen now. Yep, Thomas and 13 car just behind, and then Sam Walton at the back of the group.
Defending there was Gareth Thomas. He knows it's the last lap, and he runs a bit wide therefore. So could we get a race to the line? I think he's done just about enough, but there's only a car left between them. So Gareth Thomas has doubled up, but by the smallest of margins really. They're to win the Cup class for the second time today in less than 4 tenths of a second.
Okay, well, it was a victory for Mike Cutt, but Gareth Thomas it was who was triumphant in the Cup class in the second race of the day for the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. And that championship will continue at Alton Park in about 5 weeks' time, I think that is. With another double header there, so a couple of northern rounds to begin the year in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Very quick look at the results for you then. And the win went to Mike Cutt, who completed 12 laps. And he was 1.32 seconds ahead of Graham Crowhurst at the end, so 44 from 15. Third was number 26, Paul Cook. Fourth was the Class 6 winner, number 61, Lee Pearcey. Fifth place was number 66, Mark Coulmer. Then 6th and 7th, the second and third place cars in Class 6, 76, Stuart Pinewell, and 59, Jim Benson. Stephen Schweikart, number 43, was 8th. 9th went the way of number 21, Adam Reed, and 10th was number 23, Thomas Singleton. Further back, you can see Paul Laramie, Clive Watson, Bill Redrop, but looking at 19th and 20th, that's where we find Gareth Thomas and Lee Spencer, and Sam Walton in 21st completed the finishers, and he was on the podium for the Cup class as well. So the BMW Car Club, back at Alton Park in just over a month's time. We look forward to seeing them there. One more race to go this evening here at Croft Circuit. That's going to be for the Tagiwa Type R Trophy, their second race of the weekend. And as I say, lots more racing tomorrow. But first, let's go down to the pit lane and hear from Chris Stevens.
Well, I'm here with our race 2 winner, Mike Cutt. I mean, that was a phenomenal display.
Yeah, it took a bit of doing that today. Graham had the pace as well. He was with me all the way to the start of the race. But I finally got the tyres to come on. They were coming on. I thought, right, I can have a go push here. So I had a push, I think I'll number the lap record in, if I believe rightly, or something like that maybe. And yeah, but that was tough. That was tough. It's fast, very fast that today, very fast. But we had brake problems early on, didn't qualify, and brake binding on and all that type of thing. So I'm glad we've got something. Yeah, we've done something out of the weekend, which has been fantastic. And 750, great atmosphere, great do. What more can you ask for?
Yeah. I mean, in the early stages of the race, he was trying everything to get past you, to resist that pressure.
Into tower, and I mean, I just got the power on, and it's a bit dicey going up into Tim Clark-S's side by side, but I thought I'll give him room, and I did, but he didn't quite get the side, and he would have had the corner, and it would have been a different race maybe. But yeah.
How are you managing this traffic while you've got someone like Graham bearing down on you?
Yeah, I've got a bit of good experience here, so you know where you can slip through sometimes. I'm not particularly mega experienced with some of the southern circuits, but I've done a lot of racing here over the last 20 years, and it's it is a bit of local knowledge for getting through the back markers as well. But they're having their race, so you've got to give them room, and if they're on the racing line, you've got to get around them, I'm afraid. So that's what we're trying to do, is trying to keep everybody happy, which is nice, isn't it? Yeah.
And a quick word on Russ Coburn. Obviously, this is Memorial weekend, and you've won the race. Quick word on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Massive miss. I was testing here a couple of weeks ago, and I was driving up here, and he would have been with me normally, and he died just before COVID. And massive miss. The engine's still in there, what he built for me 8 years ago, and it's still going strong. So yeah, good credit to him. And he was like a father figure. We went a long way. We did a lot of stuff over the last 5 to 10 years, and it was credit to him, absolutely fantastic, and great to win the race. What can you ask?
Well, congratulations, a fantastic victory, very hard fought. Let's go and talk to our Class 6 winner, car number 61, Lee Pearcey, 2 for 2. How's that?
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That was good. The car just felt better and better. Managed to get a good start. Clear, get out in the lead and just hold on to it. And then we see the rain come in, and I was like, this is going to get a bit lively, but it held off for us just. And it was good. It was a good race. Got a little sweat on, so I was working hard.
It looked like Jim was going with you in the early stages, but he had a couple of offs towards the end there. So was that just pressure off at that moment?
Yeah, I was looking in the mirrors, and I was watching my lap timer, and I think, right, we're going quicker, and he's still there. And I was just thinking, God, blimey, how fast have I got to go to break him here? And then, and all of a sudden, I couldn't see him, and then I see him across tracks. I thought, maybe he's had an off or something. So then it was just a case of, right, look after the car and bring it home. So before the rain.
Well, congratulations, another great win, 2 for 2, as we said. Another man it's 2 for 2 for is our Class C winner, Gareth Thomas. How was that one? It looked a lot closer, that one.
There was a lot of effort made to take that one over. Every time at the hairpin, time and time again, he was just on the back of me. It looks like I've done enough. That was good. 4 years waiting for a win, and now 2 in the same day. Yeah, happy with that. Yeah, all good.
How was it resisting the pressure from behind?
it was right for the first couple of laps because I had a bit of a buffer, but then every time I could just see him getting closer and closer halfway around the lap. So I just had to do what I can, get the car in awkward places and keep in front. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about the top guys coming through the traffic. What's it like for you guys when you have to battle while they're coming past you?
Luckily, the only person we really had to come across was Lee Piercy. I did watch him in the mirror. I just had to chat with him there, and he just say, "I just want to stay back, let you guys get on with the race," because it was an awkward point where we come up to the chicane as well. But yeah, thankfully he stayed out of the way, and that's the only worry we had.
Well, congratulations, a double win. As we mentioned, Ian, back up to you for one last time. It's the Tagiwa Type R Trophy, the last race of the day.